Struggling nurse's life-changing blood donation reveals incredible truth about the CEO's single dad. Marissa sat at the edge of her kitchen table, her heart heavy as she flicked through the mountain of bills threatening to bury her dreams. The sunlight streamed through the window, casting a golden glow on her mother's old photo, smiling, vibrant, untouched by illness. Marissa's hands trembled as she thought about her mother, and the sacrifices she was making daily to care for her. Each day as a nurse, she poured her soul into her job, caring for strangers while the weight of economic hardship threatened to suffocate her own hopes. In her bustling Midwestern town, neighbors rallied around each other. Potlucks and bake sales kept spirits high, drawing her together with the community even when the burden felt too heavy to bear. But today, there was a dull ache in her chest, a reminder that her efforts often felt like drops in an endless ocean. That sunny afternoon, during a routine blood donation drive at the local hospital, Marissa decided to give what she could to help others. Every drop counts, she whispered to herself as she lay back on the cot, her pulse steady. Unbeknownst to her, her donation would go to a critically ill child, the daughter of Matt, the wealthy CEO of a major corporation nearby. As she took a deep breath, letting go of her own troubles momentarily, she had no idea how her act of kindness would ripple through their lives. Matt, though surrounded by wealth, was battling his own demons. His successful career had come at the cost of meaningful family time. He sat anxiously by his daughter's hospital bed, a shadow of a man in a tailored suit. The blood donation that Marissa generously provided was now a lifeline for his daughter. Yet as the media buzzed with the story, framing him as an archetypal success story facing vulnerability, deeper tensions ignited in town discussions about privilege and inequity. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. When Marissa and Matt finally crossed paths, their meeting exploded with misunderstandings and the weight of judgment. Marissa seethed at the privilege Matt had squandered on ambition, while he struggled to prove that he was more than just a corporate titan. Their conversation danced between hostility and shared vulnerability, the air thick with caution as they faced themselves and each other. Tension crackled when Matt's daughter, overhearing their heated exchange, confronted her father about the lifestyle they led. "Dad, don't you care about us?" she exclaimed, her voice a raw thread of curiosity. Marissa, her heart aching, opened up about compassion and community, igniting a fire in the young girl. Through their exchanges, misunderstandings unraveled slowly. As Marissa began to contemplate leading a social initiative to connection, the townsfolk rallied behind her. However, nagging self-doubt crept in, clouding her spirit. Just when recognition seemed to flicker ahead, an urgent phone call from a cherished friend stormed her world. Heart racing, she faced the reality that everything could collapse at any moment. Would she rise against the tide of uncertainty, or would her dreams drown in doubt? The clock ticked on, and Marissa was left staring into the abyss of possibility, the tension rising as the community gathered. Would love, forgiveness, and the essence of connection triumph over division? Marissa paced the floor of her small living room, the phone still buzzing in her hand. Her friend Tanya's voice echoed in her mind, urgent and frantic. "Marissa, I don't know how to say this. I've got some news that might change everything." With every tick of the clock, her heart raced faster. What could it be? The anxious tension knotted in her stomach. The small gathering she'd planned for the community project felt like a mountain to climb now, and the weight of her friend's news loomed like dark clouds over her dreams. "Focus," she whispered to herself, drawing in a deep, calming breath. The warmth of the afternoon sun poured through the window, inviting a sense of tranquility, but she found it hard to hold on to. The thought of what the community might think if she faltered gnawed at her resolve. Across town, Matt sat in a sterile hospital room, worn down by sleepless nights. His daughter, Lily, lay in the bed connected to machines that beeped steadily. The crimson fluid he had seen in the bag, the lifeline that Marissa had offered, gave him a spark of hope, yet was also mixed with guilt. Why did it take someone like Marissa, struggling to keep her own life afloat, to teach him about real compassion and community? He pondered the conversation they had, her words igniting a fire within him that had long been dormant. Could he still step down from his pedestal of privilege? Matt's heart ached at the thought of his daughter and the lingering edge of regret the time he had spent chasing deals instead of sharing moments with her. As he wiped the tears from her cheek, he resolved to change, to become more involved in the community Marissa had talked about, to connect. But how? Back at Marissa's home, a sudden knock at the door jolted her from her thoughts. She opened it to find a crew of her neighbors, ready with warm smiles and fingers full of homemade treats. Surprise! "We're here to help with your gathering," cheered Barbara, her enthusiasm contagious. For a moment, Marissa felt that familiar warmth as relief washed over her. Perhaps, just perhaps, this could turn out to be something beautiful despite the shadows. As they began to set up, Marissa caught a glimpse of the overflowing joy in the room. But the gnawing worry hung in the back of her mind, a reminder that the uncertainty still loomed. Tanya's words came rushing back, and she wondered if once the truth was revealed, could it fracture everything she was building. With each neighbor who walked through her door, she felt hope renew, but doubt still flickered at the edges of her mind. What would happen if Matt revealed the truth? If the community saw their CEO as simply a man needing help? Matt, meanwhile, was making his own plans. He reached out to Marissa, wanting her input on the event she envisioned. A chance to do something meaningful together, a moment to bridge their worlds. But there was one thing he hadn't. He counted on the weight of his own past clawing at him, threatening to unravel it all. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with rich oranges and purples, the stage was set for an unforgettable evening. Would Marissa find her footing amidst the shifting sands of her aspirations? And could Matt shed some of his past to build a better future with her? Marissa's phone buzzed again, this time cutting through the chatter. It was a text from Tanya. "You need to hear this before the gathering. It's about Matt. Things may not be what they seem." Her heart pounded with trepidation. What revelation lay ahead? Marissa felt a chill run down her spine as she read Tanya's message. The urgency in the text twisted her stomach into knots, and she gripped the phone tightly. What could it possibly mean? She glanced at her neighbors, laughing and sharing stories in her living room, their lightheartedness a contrast to the anxious chaos in her mind. "Is everything okay, Marissa?" Barbara asked, noticing her shift in demeanor. "Yeah. Just lost in thought." She forced a smile but felt the edges of her calm fraying. She was caught off guard by the ringing of her phone again. It was Tanya. That was unexpected. Marissa hesitated but then answered. "Tanya?" "Marissa, I don't have much time. I need you to listen closely. It's about Matt. There's something important I didn't mention earlier." Her heart raced as she leaned against the wall, the joyous chatter becoming a distant hum. "What is it?" He's not just any CEO. He's been struggling with his own life for a long time. His daughter, Lily, she's been sick. It's affected him more than you know. That blood donation? He desperately needs it, but it's deeper than that. It could tie you two together in ways you can't imagine. Marissa felt her breath catch. "What do you mean?" "I can't explain everything now, but there are some serious issues within the company. He's torn between the business world and doing what's right. If the community finds out," Marissa's thoughts raced. This was the man she admired and was working with, the one who ignited a spark of change in her. But now, the weight of potential fallout loomed over her like a storm cloud. What if I can't handle the truth? What if it changes everything? Our gathering, everything I've fought for. I believe in you, Marissa. You're stronger than you think. This community needs someone like you to lead, especially in times like these. Marissa nodded, even though she knew Tanya couldn't see her. "I'll think about what you said." As she hung up, the laughter in the room returned to focus, but it felt distant, like it was happening on another planet. Could she still hold her ground despite the swirling uncertainty? If what Tanya said was true, what would that mean for the gathering and for her relationship with Matt? At that moment, her eyes landed on the door. As if drawn by an invisible force, she stepped towards it and caught a glimpse of her reflection in the hallway mirror. The woman looking back seemed strong, but uncertainty gnawed at her. Would she be able to confront this hidden truth? Meanwhile, across town in that sterile hospital room, Matt clutched his phone, his pulse quickened as he received a message from Marissa. "Hey, can we talk before the gathering?" He felt his heart catch. The possibility of what she might ask danced before him. Would she question his past? Would she see him as nothing but an entitled father reeling from loss? He took a shaky breath. "Yes. I'll be there." Back at Marissa's, as the gathering kicked off with laughter and chatter, she found herself watching the door, anxiety buzzing in her veins. Would she reveal everything to her friends? How would they react when the truth unfolded? With a determined heart, she took a deep breath. "Okay, let us make this gathering matter," she whispered to herself, but in the back of her mind, the growing shadow of uncertainty loomed larger. As the sun dipped further behind the horizon, a question loomed. Could she face what might come crashing down with the next revelation? Or would this truth bring her to her knees? Just as she gathered the courage to speak, her phone buzzed again. "Urgent, we need to talk. Now." It was from Matt. Marissa's pulse quickened. What was he about to share? And would it change everything she was working toward? Marissa took a shaky breath, her heart pounding against her chest. The message from Matt felt like a string pulled taut, threatening to snap at any moment. Why did it have to be urgent? What could he possibly need to say that couldn't wait for the gathering? With every second that passed, the laughter from the living room became a blur, and she felt more isolated. She opened her phone and stared at the screen. It wasn't just a phone call, it was a lifeline, a moment that could decide the course of everything. "Okay, Marissa," she whispered, trying to gather her resolve. She stepped toward the door, feeling each step echo with uncertainty. Each time she assumed she'd have the chance to straighten things out with Matt, it felt like fate was pulling the rug out from under her. Outside, the evening breeze brushed against her skin, reminding her of the impending storm in her life. She glanced at her phone again, willing it to light up. She needed to connect with Matt. As she reached the corner of the block, she spotted the warm glow of the cafe where they first talked. That place held memories that shimmered with the excitement of early possibilities, but now it felt overcast with complications. Just as she stepped onto the cafe's patio, Matt emerged, looking slightly less put together than usual. His shirt was wrinkled, and there were dark circles under his eyes. "Hey," he said, surprise flickering in his gaze. "I got your message. I didn't know if I'd see you before the gathering." "I needed to talk about everything," she replied, searching his eyes for reassurance. "Yeah, same here." He ran a hand through his hair, a gesture that betrayed his tension. "I can't explain my situation right now, but I need you to know I'm trying to get through it." Marissa resisted the urge to press him for details. Instead, she focused on his presence the way he always made her feel safe. "Tanya mentioned Lily and the blood donation. Is that why you're struggling?" His face twisted in pain, and he nodded slowly. "It's complicated. I wish I could make it simple for you. She needs a match, and it's been exhausting emotionally and physically." Feeling the weight of his burden, Marissa touched his arm. "I can help, Matt. But you need to let me in. I want to understand what you're facing. It's not just my work life crumbling. It's more than that." Marissa felt a mix of anxiety and determination. "Then let us face it together. I can't walk into this gathering pretending everything is fine when I know it's not. His expression softened, a flicker of hope amidst the shadows. I don't want to drag you into this. You fought so hard for this community. I don't want to ruin that for you. But what if this is a part of why I'm fighting? She countered, her heart racing. What if this is more than just a chance at a donation? What if it ties our lives together in an unexpected way? He paused, his eyes wide, searching hers for some truth hidden beneath the surface. What do you mean? Marissa hesitated, the moment stretching between them like a taut wire. Tanya hinted there could be more to the story. What if your daughter needs connect us in ways we both didn't expect? Matt swallowed hard, the weight of her words hanging in the air. The cafe lights flickered, and for a moment, it felt like time held its breath. They were on the verge of something sweeping and transformative. As she looked into his eyes, she realized that this truth had the power to shatter everything they both knew. But more than that, it could also give rise to new beginnings. Could she really navigate these turbulent waters and emerge stronger? And what would happen when the gathering forced them to face the truth in front of their friends? Marissa held her breath, bracing for the next moment, unsure of what it would bring, but knowing it would forever change them both. Marissa could feel the weight of his gaze, the intensity swirling around them like a thick fog. She wanted to reach out, to reassure him that together they could face whatever storms lay ahead. But doubt shadowed her thoughts. What if opening this door led to more heartache? Matt, are you okay? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The answer felt too heavy for the night air. He looked away, his jaw clenched. I should be, but I'm just scared. Scared of what this means for Lily, for us. Her heart ached for him. No parent should have to endure such helplessness. How can I help? Just tell me what I need to do. He shook his head slowly. It's not that simple. If you get involved and things go south, you'll be dragged into my life's mess. But if we don't act now, we be running out of time? Isn't that more dangerous? He sighed, frustration flashing across his face. You don't understand. This isn't just a blood donation. It's a fight for her life, and it could change everything, for both of us. Marissa clenched her fists, a spark of determination igniting within her. Then let us face it together. Don't shut me out, Matt. If there's a possibility that we could help her, no matter how scary it is, we have to try. He met her gaze, something shifting between them, a fragile understanding beginning to blossom. What if you find out that I'm not the person you thought I was? What if this whole thing destroys us instead of bringing us together? Then we'll figure it out, she said. I'd rather take that risk than walk away. The moment felt pivotal, as if their unspoken fears and desires hung in the balance. He stepped closer, closing the distance that felt like a chasm only moments before. You really mean that? Marissa nodded, the warmth of his presence comforting yet electrifying. We can't hide from this any longer. We owe it to Lily and to ourselves. A flicker of hope ignited in his eyes. Okay, but I need to be honest about everything. The truth is complicated, and I'm already in over my head. Just start at the beginning, she urged gently, squeezing his hand. Matt took a shaky breath, gathering his words like the scattered pieces of a puzzle. Lily's situation is worse than we thought. She needs a transplant soon. The doctors think. He paused, overwhelmed by the realities of his situation that felt impossible to voice. She could see the pain etched on his face. What are the options? What do you have to do? A whirlwind of emotions crossed his features. We have to search for a donor, and I don't even know if I'm a match. But I can't bear to share those chances with so many people. The gravity of his admission settled over them, thick and heavy. Marissa could feel her heart race as she realized the limits of his willingness to put himself out there, to hope. Just then, her phone buzzed nervously in her pocket. Both their heads turned, the moment broken like glass. It was a message from Tanya. Where are you guys? People are starting to wonder if you're both coming. Matt's expression darkened, and the vulnerability flickered away. I guess we have to go face them, and the truth. Marissa's heart sank. She didn't want to step back into the noise, the laughter that would ring shallow against the weight of their shared truth. We can't walk in there like everything is fine. Then it's time we decide what to tell them, he said, his voice steady, yet uncertainty flashed across his face. She took a deep breath, trying to find clarity amongst the chaos. But we have to be careful. What if we tell them too much, and it blows up in our faces? He looked down, the weight of the situation at last settling in. Then we'll have to be brave. Because I can't keep this a secret anymore. They stood frozen in the night, the air thick with tension. What lay ahead meant risking not only their hearts but also their future. Marissa's heartbeat thundered in her ears. They were standing on a precipice, both terrified and exhilarated. One moment could change everything, sending ripples through their lives in ways they couldn't yet foresee. As they exchanged one last, lingering gaze, the night seemed to breathe with anticipation. Are we ready for this? She asked, her voice steadier than her nerves felt. Ready or not, we don't have a choice. But what I do know is, in facing this, we're about to discover who we really are. And with that, they took their first steps together toward the gathering, their intertwined fates shrouded in uncertainty, yet fraught with promise. What hidden truths awaited them inside, and would they be ready to confront the devastating reality waiting just beyond the door? As they walked hand in hand, the noise of laughter and chatter from inside the venue grew louder, wrapping around them like a heavy blanket. The once comforting chatter now felt like a roaring tide threatening to pull them under. Marissa's heart raced as they approached the door. She could almost hear her own pulse echoing in her ears, the sound mixing with the clinking of glasses and the soft strains of music. Do you think we're ready for this? She murmured, glancing at him sideways, searching his expression for reassurance even as her own fear threatened to cloud her thoughts. I guess we'll find out together, Matt replied, his thumb brushing the back of her hand, a silent anchor. They stepped inside, and the atmosphere hit them like a wave. Bright lights, familiar faces, and laughter echoing through the room. Despite the chaos, every person felt like they were a million miles away. Their mission collided with the festive air, tossing confusion and chaos together. Tanya spotted them first, her brow furrowing in concern as she made her way through the crowd. There you are. We were starting to worry. Her cheerful demeanor fell as she looked at Matt. What is going on? You both look like you saw a ghost. Sensing the urgency of the moment, Marissa took a deep breath, summoning every ounce of courage. Can we talk? It's important. Tanya nodded, her smile fading to a serious look as she led them to a quieter corner, away from the hustle and bustle. Matt? Marissa prompted, feeling the weight of his burden hanging in the air. It's time. With a slight nod, he took a deep breath, preparing to unravel the threads that had held him captive for so long. Lily's sick, he started, each word carefully chosen as it broke the tension in the room. She needs a transplant. Soon. Tanya's eyes widened. Oh my God, Matt. We wanted to let you know there's a chance that I could. He hesitated, glancing at Marissa as if seeking her strength. I could potentially be a donor, but I'm not sure yet. And I need your help. The words hung in the air, and silence enveloped them. Marissa felt the world around them fade, leaving her in a bubble of emotion. Reality crashed over her like a tidal wave, leaving her breathless. Can you help us organize a donor search? Matt continued, breaking the spell of silence. I can't do this alone. Tanya blinked, processing the information. Of course. I'll help in any way I can. Her voice held a strength that instantly felt reassuring. We'll get the word out. We can contact the clinic and see what tests need to be done. Relief flooded through Marissa, warm and expansive, but it was tinged with a deeper anxiety. What if they couldn't find a match? What if the search led to dead ends and shattered hopes? "Thank you," Matt said, his voice thick with emotion. "It means everything to us." As their conversation shifted back and forth between options and next steps, Marissa felt a new warmth blossom inside her, a mix of hope and determination. They were facing it together, with others to support them. Through the crowd, though, she spotted Lily's photo hanging on a nearby board, a big smile framed by wild curls, the innocence shining through. A lump formed in her throat. "We'll do whatever it takes," she declared, her eyes burning with fierce resolve. As they stepped back into the main room, the energy shifted palpably. People were bustling about, unaware of the tumult brewing just a few feet away. "Let us find a way to make this work," Matt said, his voice steady this time. "We can't keep in hiding anymore. No more pretending everything is okay." "Agreed," Marissa replied, though she couldn't shake off the uncertainty brewing within. Just as they turned to mingle with the crowd, Marissa's phone buzzed again. Glancing at it, her heart sank. A text from her brother: "The family is counting on you. We can't afford any more mistakes." Matt caught her eye. "What is it?" he asked, concern etching deeper lines across his forehead. "It's family stuff. Nothing I can't handle, I promise." But the tightness in her chest told her that handling it would mean more than she could convey. As they began weaving through the chatter, the smiles barely reaching their eyes, Marissa couldn't shake the feeling that things were about to change fundamentally. They were on a tightrope now, with their emotions hanging beneath and the world above them shifting like a wave. What choices awaited them as they fought not only for Lily's life but their own connections? And would they be able to keep standing amidst the whispers of doubt that swirled around them? Marissa felt like the walls were closing in around her, a suffocating reminder of the weight on her shoulders. The laughter that filled the venue now seemed distant, almost mocking in its brightness, creating a sharp contrast to the dark thoughts swirling in her mind. "Hey!" Matt gently squeezed her hand as they navigated the crowded room, his presence a comfort amidst the storm of emotions. "You okay?" She nodded, though the sharp line of worry remained etched across her brow. "Just thinking about everything." Tanya was scribbling notes on her phone, her expression focused. "Once we reach out to the clinic, we'll need a loop of information on how to proceed," she said briskly. "This can become overwhelming fast, but we've got this." Marissa marveled at Tanya's energy, wishing she could share even a fraction of it. "Yeah, we can do this," Marissa echoed, finding strength in the shared determination. But Matt paused, a new layer of concern in his voice. "What about you, Marissa? Your brother's text sounded serious. Are you sure you're okay to do this right now?" She opened her mouth to dismiss his worries but felt the tremor of vulnerability escape her. "My family. They're in a tough spot, and they expect me to hold it together. I don't know if I can handle this and that at the same time." The flicker of disappointment in Matt's eyes stung, and Marissa quickly shook her head. "It's not about you or Lily. I want to help. I just—" "Let us not worry about that yet," Matt cut in, his voice gentler. "We're tackling this together. We'll find a way to get through this storm." As the words settled in the air, Marissa let out a deep breath. The storm felt unshakable, but maybe they could find a way to surf the waves together. They huddled closer, surrounded by the vibrant chaos of the partygoers. People danced and chatted nearby, but the bubble around them felt heavy with unspoken fears. Marissa spotted Lily's photo again, her playful spirit captured in that frozen moment. The pressure surged back in her chest. "Can I ask something?" Tanya ventured, glancing from Marissa to Matt. "What were you thinking about when you considered being a donor?" The question hung between them like a damning secret. Matt hesitated, his fingers threading through his hair. "Honestly? I was terrified. The thought of putting myself through a procedure, but then I thought of Lily. She needs this. Marissa's heart sank. The thought of him undergoing a risky procedure felt like suffocation, yet it was that very bravery that deepened her love for him. "You're willing to risk everything for her," she murmured, trying to hold the tears at bay. "Isn't that what family does?" He replied, his voice steady but tinged with an edge of vulnerability. Tanya cleared her throat, bringing them back to the moment. "And that's where we come in. We'll do everything, the outreach, the tests, all of it." A flash of encouragement ignited in Marissa. Maybe together they could bear the burdens pressing down on them. They exchanged resolute glances, a silent pact crystallizing in the moments flowing around them. In the midst of the gathering, the music swelled, momentarily washing away the tension. People started dancing, filling the room with energy. For a fleeting moment, Marissa wanted to escape this heavy reality. She glanced at Matt, who offered a small smile, inviting her back to the present. "Dance?" he suggested, mischief dancing in his eyes. Marissa hesitated, her heart still a jumble of fear and hope. But the way he looked at her ignited something powerful within her. "All right, just one song." They stepped onto the floor, laughter bubbling as Matt twirled her away from the worries that clutched at her heart. The music pulsed around them, and for this brief moment, she felt the weight lift, as if the rhythm could carry them above the clouds. But then the moment ended, reality crashing back down as her phone buzzed again, a call this time. Her heart stopped when she glanced at the screen. It was her brother's name, the urgency weighing heavily. "Matt. I need to take this." As she stepped away, she could feel the warmth of the dance fading, replaced by the cold grip of anxiety. "What now?" she whispered under her breath, knowing her world teetered on the edge of change. With her heart pounding, she answered, her brother's voice echoing her worst fears. "You aren't going to believe this, but I just found something that changes everything." What could this revelation mean for her family? Would it weave into Lily's fate too, or unravel the fragile hope she was clinging to? "Marissa, you have to listen closely," her brother's voice crackled through the phone. It was shaky, the kind of tone that instantly put her on alert. "I just found out who Lily's biological father is." Marissa's breath caught in her throat. Disbelief crashed over her like a wave. "What? How did you find that out?" The swirling colors of the party faded. She was in a different world now, one where reality felt fragile and threadbare. "I found some old documents in Mom's attic while looking for stuff for you to take to the clinic," he said. There were letters, DNA test results. A while back, she had the option of tracking him down. "I didn't know, but he's in the system. And he's a match for Lily." "What?" "No," she choked out. Her mind raced with images of her mother, her family dynamics, the secrets that had been buried deep. "Are you sure? This can't be right. Our family, it's complicated enough already." "I thought the same thing, but it all fits, Marissa. He has the same rare blood type as her. I know this is a lot, but Lily might have a chance to meet him, or even know." The word burst from her lips, sharper than she intended. "This is not a good idea. We can't bring someone like him back into our lives. What if he doesn't want anything to do with her?" Or, her brother countered softly, what if he does? What if he could help her? "We can't ignore this." As her brother's words sank in, the weight of possibility settled over Marissa. A broad path opening before her, yet filled with twists and turns that terrified her. Part of her wanted to hold her ground and protect her family, clinging to the world as she had known it. But another voice whispered of hope, possibilities. Maybe Lily had another chance for health, for a future, for connection. "Marissa," her brother's voice broke through her thoughts, "I really think we need to consider contacting him. Just to see, you know. We owe that much to Lily." Swallowing hard, Marissa closed her eyes. She could almost see Matt, his unyielding support, standing firmly in the chaos of their lives. Was this the storm he had promised to face together? Or was it yet another crack in their already shaky foundation? I need some time to think, she said, forcing herself to breathe steadily. Let me sit on this. I'll get back to you. After they hung up, she gazed at the dance floor, where couples swayed to the rhythm of the music. Matt was there, laughter spilling across his lips. But the thought of both of them conflicted with what she had just learned. What if her choice changed everything for him, too? With each heartbeat, the weight settled heavier in her chest. She found herself pushed back toward the bar, her fingers grasping for something solid as uncertainty washed over her. Maybe it was time to confide in Matt, to open up about the tangled mess that was her family. As she approached him, the dance ended, and he turned to her, that warm smile lighting up his face. Yet a shadow of concern flickered through his eyes as he sensed the change in her demeanor. Everything okay? He asked, genuine and steady. As always, Marissa hesitated, caught between wanting to shield him from turmoil and the desperate need for him to bear this weight with her. Not really. I just got some news, she started, her voice trembling. Before she could reveal more, the air buzzed with energy. A loud cheer erupted from the crowd, distracted by an unexpected performance. A few brave souls stepped up to showcase their dance moves, the atmosphere charged with excitement. But Marissa remained rooted, every part of her wanting to pull him closer, to spill everything and yet struggling against the urge. She needed a moment, a breath, a plan. Right now, I just need some clarity, she finally said, deciding to take it slow. Can you hold on for a bit? He nodded, but the worry in his eyes lingered. What had she just set in motion? As they watched the vibrant chaos unfold in front of them, Marissa's thoughts spiraled. Would the truth about Lily's father be the key to healing, or would it add more broken pieces to an already fractured family? Her heart raced as she pondered the decisions ahead. The truth was knocking, and she could feel it echo deep within her. She wouldn't just have to face it, she'd have to unveil it. With hope and dread coiling in her gut, she whispered to herself, "What's going to happen if I choose to go down this path?" The next chapter of their lives was looming, thick with uncertainty. Would she dare to brave the revelation that could redefine everything? Marissa couldn't shake the anxiety buzzing in her veins. The whispers of the party surrounded her, a distant echo to her own heartbeat, but all she could think about was the revelation her brother had shared. The shadows of doubt crept in, spiraling out like vines, wrapping around her resolve. She glanced at Matt, his carefree spirit radiating warmth, and felt a pang of guilt. He deserved to know the truth, and yet the thought of reciting her family's secret felt like preparing for a storm. Want to dance? Matt's voice broke through the haze, his hand extended, playful and inviting. She smiled lightly, but it didn't reach her eyes. Could she truly dance away the anxiety? Maybe just a moment longer, she replied, biting her lip. Okay, then we can just stand here. He chuckled, nudging her playfully. You know, we can dance later or even find somewhere quieter if you're feeling overwhelmed. What's on your mind? His concern washed over her, soft like a gentle wave. It's just a lot, she admitted, looking away, scanning the crowd for a reprieve. The lights swirled, blurring the faces, and she felt as if she was being pulled in different directions all at once. I'm here, Marissa. You can tell me anything, he said, nudging her with a comforting warmth, and just like that, the dam began to crack. There was strength in vulnerability, she reminded herself. It's about Lily, she managed, her voice barely above a whisper. Her biological father. He paused, letting her words sink in like the fading music in the background. Okay, he said slowly, encouraging her to continue. I found out who he is. Or, rather, my brother found out. He wants me to think about reaching out to him. The weight of her confession hung in the air, thick and charged. Matt searched her eyes, concern etched on his face. Marissa, that sounds complicated. How do you feel about it? I feel confused. She exclaimed, unable to maintain her composure. This could change everything for Lily and my family. What if he wants to be involved? What if he doesn't? What if this just opens up a gateway of pain we're not ready to face? It's a lot to take in, Matt replied, and she could see wheels turning in his mind. But this man is part of Lily, whether you want him to be or not. Ignoring it won't make it go away. The truth in his words sent a shiver down her spine, resonating with the tumultuous waves inside. Marissa bit down on the inside of her cheek, deep in thought. I worry he could hurt her somehow, or hurt us. Matt nodded thoughtfully, pulling her a little closer as the rhythm of the crowd thrived around them. You and your family deserve answers. But you're not in this alone. We can figure it out together. The warmth of his presence steadied her, grounding her in the tempest of uncertainty. She inhaled deeply, the air laced with the sweet scent of mixed fragrances from the guests. I don't know if I have the strength to face this, she finally admitted. What if reaching out just exposes old wounds? Then we'll face that too, he replied, his voice unwavering. You've helped others through tough times, Marissa. It's okay to lean on someone else sometimes. His words hung in the air, echoing her inner turmoil. As she stood there, she could feel the emotional layers peeling away. Her fears loosened their grip, a fragile glimmer of hope taking root amidst uncertainty. Maybe I'll give it a shot, she said, her voice firmer now, determination settling in. But I'll need your support, Matt. All the way. Always. He smiled softly. We'll take it one step at a time. Just then, a loud cheer erupted from the crowd. The atmosphere shifted, excitement surging like a tidal wave, as a surprise guest took the dance floor. Marissa and Matt turned to see a well-known local band beginning to play, drawing everyone into a frenzy. As the music filled the air, Marissa felt a dizzying thrill. She had made a choice, a decision to untangle the strands of her past, ready to confront the unknown. The rhythm energized her spirit. Let us dance, she said, pulling him toward the swaying mass of bodies, buoyed by the infectious energy. But as they moved together, a seed of doubt still lingered in her mind. As much as she wanted to lose herself in the moment, the reality of what lay ahead gnawed at the edge of her thoughts. Could reaching out truly mend what was broken? The thought hovered just outside her grasp. Where would this pursuit of truth lead her? And would she be ready for whatever came next? The music swelled, an anthem of new beginnings, but Marissa felt the weight of unanswered questions pressing down. Their lives were on the brink of a transformation, and she wasn't sure if she had the courage to follow through. With uncertainty swirling around them, she clung to Matt, a flicker of hope illuminating the anxiety. What awaited her in the shadows? Was she prepared to confront the father she never knew, and the impact he would have on all their lives? The atmosphere inside the gathering pulsated with excitement, but Marissa felt like she was operating in a different space, one tangled in uncertainty and fear. The sounds around her blurred, a mere backdrop to the storm swirling in her heart. Dance? Yes, she could do that. But there was still a looming decision ahead that felt like an anchor keeping her tethered to the ground. Matt's laughter rang clear as they danced, and yet she felt like she was floating, unable to grasp that fleeting moment fully. Each beat of the music was a heartbeat of possibility, yet every pulse held a reminder of what lay beneath the surface. Time was slipping away, and she was aware of the heaviness, the truth she was about to confront. Are you ready? Matt asked, his eyes searching hers, unspoken worries tethered in the air between them. Swallowing hard, Marissa nodded, drawing courage from his presence. Almost. I need to share something before I can fully let go. Matt's expression shifted, concern sharpening his features. What is it? Taking a deep breath, she gathered her thoughts. It's about Lily's biological father. I just found out who he is, and it's complicated. The lights dimmed around them momentarily, pulling her mind into the shadows of fear. My brother found documents while looking for things for me to take to the clinic, she continued, feeling the weight of her words. He suggested we contact him. It could mean a chance for a transplant, but what if it brings more chaos? Matt looked at her, processing her words heavily. What do you want? I want to protect Lily, but this could open doors we can't shut. She paused, her pulse racing, every word trembling on the edge of fear. I fear what it could bring for my family and for us. Marissa, he whispered, his voice steady yet soft. We're on this journey together. Whatever this man brings into your life, it doesn't have to taint what we're building. Her heart twisted at his undeniable strength, and yet a shadow crossed her mind. Would she be able to bear the weight of truth? What if he doesn't want anything to do with Lily? Or worse, what if he does? Then we deal with it, Matt said. We don't hide from facing it. You're asking about the future. But you don't know how any of that will turn out. Maybe facing it will fracture everything we've built. She grimaced, uncertainty lingering like a dark cloud above her. Or it could be the glue that holds it together, he responded, his tone unwavering. Whatever this will be, you have to trust that we can survive it. The music swelled around them, echoing with a pulse of determination. Marissa inhaled deeply, the scent of sweat and joy filling her lungs, reminding her of the community standing behind her. Gathering strength like sunlight breaking through clouds, she realized Matt was right. She couldn't hide from the truth any longer. It was time to embrace whatever came next. Okay, she said, determination igniting within her. I will reach out. But I want you with me every step of the way. We'll navigate this together. Always, he whispered, a gentle smile blooming on his face. In that moment, the music no longer felt like a blur. It danced around them, swirling with laughter and hope, weaving their hearts tighter in this brave declaration. The air sparkled with potential, and the shadows receded just a little. As they stepped back into the fray of the gathering, Marissa felt lighter. She would take this leap, she would reach out. With every breath, she opened herself up to the possibility, despite the unknown. Surrounded by friends, family, and Matt, she knew they could tackle anything together, even the toughest truths. Let us dance, she exclaimed, pulling him back onto the floor, laughter bubbling from her throat. And as the beat enveloped them, she felt the weight of the rising sun on the horizon, hope, connection, and the strength of community pulsating through her veins. Matt laughed, spinning her once more, his eyes bright with mirth, and for the moment, the world outside faded away. Maybe facing the unknown was exactly what they needed. Each step was a testament to resilience, every beat another promise made to themselves. All the worries and doubts faded for that fleeting moment as they danced, a couple on the precipice of transformation. Whatever lay ahead, Marissa was ready to embrace it all. Embrace the uncertainty. Embrace the connection, and finally, be brave enough to step forward and break the cycle of fear that had held their lives in bondage for so long. All at once, she felt the weight of her mother's love, the spirits of her community surrounding her, and Matt's steady hand holding hers through the chaos. For the first time in a long while, her heart felt full, a wellspring of hope pouring over her, promising that whatever the outcome, they would endure together. Don't wait another moment. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories that inspire and uplift. Leave a like right now to feed the algorithm and show your support. Comment below with your feelings about this incredible conclusion. What did you think about Marissa's journey? Share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Only true fans understand the importance of rallying behind this channel. Don't delay not even one more second.